All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Red X podcast. Today is another episode of our special end of year series where we are having one episode every day this week to help you prepare for 2023. Today, we've got a very special guest. Her name is Billy Bauer. Billy, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Andrew. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, we are going to talk about kind of the theme of this week's series episodes, which is preparing for 2023, especially how to prepare in the face of economic uncertainty, possibly a looming recession, right? Things that profoundly affect the real estate market that you need to know about, that you need to be prepared for, and that Billy is somewhat of an expert on, I think it's safe to say, because she was a real estate agent during the Great Recession in 07, 08, right? That was well over a decade ago, but I think there are similar things that are happening now that people need to be prepared for, similar mindsets, strategies, tactics to help us prepare for that. So we will jump into that in just a moment here with you, Billy. First, I just want to make one more quick announcement. Since it's the season of giving, we are having a special gift giveaway every day this week just for our podcast listeners to help you, again, prepare for 2023. So please join us live and chime in the comments is where we'll be doing this giveaway for a chance to win any number of prizes, a month of free Red X. We've got Stanley mugs, we've got backpacks, Amazon gift cards, Apple AirPods, a lot of great prizes. Again, things that will help you, hopefully in 2023 and every day this week. So please join in at 1:30 Mountain Time during this week, and we'll chime in, comment, and we'll be giving those away. So we got that out of the way. Billy, let's have you just kind of briefly introduce yourself, where you're from, how long you've been in real estate, and then we'll get into the good stuff there.
Okay. Well, I'm Billy Bauer, and I am the listing specialist and CEO of the Billy Bauer Network. And we are in Overland Park, Kansas, which is a suburb of Kansas City. Okay. And we have a unique situation here because we are licensed in both Kansas and Missouri because the state line cuts the heart of the metro. So we have two licenses. So this is my 22nd year in real estate, and it's actually my second career. I taught school forever before that. Okay. And it's actually my second career, and, still love it and love what we do.
22 years. That is a very impressive run, Billy. Yeah. I love that.
Been a while.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, it sounds like you were maybe in real estate for a handful of years before the Great Recession. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, I started in the year 2000.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. So you kind of had you had some expertise, some knowledge. You kind of, were already in the trenches of real estate when the recession hit. So that's great. You already had some experience. What was your kind of reaction, or how did you handle, just as a general overview, how did you handle things, and maybe where was your head at when the recession hit? Was there panic? Was there uncertainty? Were you like, I'm gonna take this head on? What kind of happened there?
It was such a surprise because the way I remember it, it was just all of a sudden,
right?
Nothing. And what made it even more interesting was my daughter, who became my partner, graduated from the University of Kansas that year, and it was her idea to come into business with me. And a new kid coming out of college, and just trying to start making her start in the business, and the bottom fell out. And it just really, the way I remember it, it just seemed, like all of a sudden at that point.
Sure. So it kind of caught you off guard, and probably was a little daunting for your daughter, who was, I assume, excited to become a real estate agent and join your team. But then what do you do? So how did you handle that? Or what did you do specifically to say, or to get through that, right? To keep pushing forward?
Well, we were with Keller Williams, and one of the things, the good things about Keller Williams is that they coach you and teach you what to do. And we had been to several, family reunions and mega camps and all of that. And So when we could see that things were becoming a challenge, we sat down together and I said, all right, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to follow the model and do this thing that Gary Keller keeps talking about, this lead generation thing, whatever this is. And so we're going to have to do that if we're going to make it through this. And so that's kind of how it all began. And of course, at that point, the expired and for sale by owner markets were beginning to kick up. So that's when we decided to start taking advantage.
Okay, cool. So this lead generation thing that KW kind of set you on, what did that involve, and what were some of the different strategies that they
we committed to come to the office together 2 hours from 9 to 11, do it first in the day, get it out of the way, bite the bullet first, because we're not kidding. Who are you kidding? If you think you're going to come back at 2 or 3 o'clock and sit down and do that, you're not.
Right.
So we would do it first thing at 9 to 11 in the morning, and we would do a series of calling our sphere, calling for sale by owners, expireds, and just making touches and talking to people.
Okay. And what did those conversations sound like? Do you remember? I mean, obviously, people were aware of the market, just like you were aware of the market.
Mm-hmm.
What was the general sense of your leads and your prospects, and how did those conversations sound?
Well, with our sphere of influence, that we would try to be educational and just tell them, don't be afraid of this. This is a bump in the road. And so, don't, if you want to buy or sell, just let us guide you through the process.
Right.
And so that was the conversation with our sphere. And then, of course, the conversation with the for sale by owners and expireds was a little bit different than that at that point.
Okay. And different in what ways? Like, because obviously they were, not people that you previously know. They're essentially cold leads, right? When you have that first conversation.
Yeah.
Did they give you a lot of pushback? Were they hesitant to work with you because of the market, or were they as eager as ever to get back on?
It depended. You got all kinds of responses. You got very receptive responses. Okay. And then you got people that were like, no way am I going to do anything with you. I have no idea who you are. So just a very varied responses. But as a result of that, we would learn scripts and learn to overcome the objections. That was what became then the next goal.
Right. And were you still able to generate business and take listings and sell houses during that time period?
We were. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. And did you use Red-X? Because one of the reasons we're having you on today is that you've been a Red-X user since then. How much of your business would you say came from prospecting Red-X leads and calling those and working with them?
Yeah, in those years between 2008 and 2013, when we finally really came out of it, an average of 15% a year came from Red-X leads.
Okay, wonderful. That's great to hear. So, looking towards the future, right? Looking towards 2023. Obviously, the last 2 years has been one of the craziest markets we've seen, an absolute seller's market. So easy. And, we saw a huge rise in licensed agents. And now things are cooling off. The market has shifted again, and there's kind of talk of a looming recession and some economic uncertainty. And that is being reflected in the real estate market. What are you doing? Kind of a two-part question. What are you doing now that was similar to 07, 08? And then what are you doing differently, whether it's technology or different strategies differently from then, that maybe you've learned since then?
As far as Red-X or overall?
Let's do overall and then Red-X. So
okay.
We'll split that question again.
Okay. So in the years where for sale by owners and expires were just really lean because everything was selling, we then put our focus, and we've always focused on our sphere of influence and really, doing things for our sphere and taking advantage of our sphere, seeking referrals that way.
Right.
And so that was the main focus, before, this last little shift that we're going through.
Right.
But so we really did up our touches with our sphere, our events, our gifts, all kinds of things, different channels, with the sphere. So, and so that's what we did at that time. Now that there are more for sale by owners and expires. It's an opportunity again now to seek business that way. And I'm kind of weird. I always liked doing those calls. It was a game to me.
So are you still prospecting for 2 hours every morning?
We
are
are.
you still doing some of those old things that
We are.
tried and true?
We are.
Okay.
And we have 7 of us on our team now, and we have 4 of us that sell. And every day, except for Tuesday, because we do our office meeting, our mass office meeting. But Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the 4 of us are here from 9 to 11. We just finished, and we are seeking business for tomorrow.
I love it.
We still do it.
Yeah, still do it. So what it sounds like is there are tried and true methods in real estate. There are tried and true methods for lead generation. One of those being prospecting good leads, prospecting through RedX, and that, regardless of where the market's at, where it's shifting, obviously you kind of go between your sphere and different leads and different lead sources, but the same principles that were true, 10, 15, 20 years ago still hold true today. Right. I love that.
Still holds true. I mean, you still show up, you still make the touches, and that's no different than making it through the last one. And I remember when we started, all of that, I think her and I were doing together, I think maybe 30 units a year. And maybe, probably 30. And now we're up to 117 units.
Wow. That's super impressive.
Yeah. So, and it is a testimony for, just sitting down and doing it consistently.
Consistency. I love that. And that's what people need for sustainability and success and control. I think a lot of people are worried about losing control next year or in the coming years. And it sounds like that's the key, is just consistency.
You do. It's just, we are looking at this. Our mindset is that, that's no excuse. The economy's changing. We're going in. That's no excuse. We still will seek the business in the same manner.
Right.
And, that's just, and I think we'll be fine, with that attitude and the sources that we have, including you guys, I think we'll be fine.
I love that. So don't react based on excuses or external circumstances. Control what you can control and stay consistent.
Yep. Don't react. Just get out and act.
Amazing. What an amazing message. Thank you so much, Billy. Again, this week we're doing a bunch of shorter episodes, so we'll wrap up here in the next couple of minutes. Any last words of wisdom, any final thoughts that you want to leave with our audience or with other real estate agents out there today, Billy? Yeah,
it's just, if you love what you do, we love doing this. My team loves coming in together and doing this together. And it's much easier if you have kind of an accountability partner, because there's no way you're not going to do it when you have 4 other people there that are counting on you to come in and do the same thing. So just basically, stick with it and do your commitment and just say you're going to do it and follow through.
Amazing. I love that. Well, Billy, thank you so much for joining us today. Just for the last, 10 or 15 minutes here. We really appreciate it. Again, to our audience who is watching live, I hope you are chiming in the comments, because we are doing a giveaway. Someone on our end should be choosing someone and emailing you soon. So keep an eye out for that. Again, join us for the rest of this week so that you have more opportunities to win more prizes, and more importantly, more opportunities to learn from experts like Billy, people who were in the industry, during the last recession and are still in the industry and still doing amazing things and impressing everyone. So thanks for joining us. Yeah, you betcha, Billy.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us. And thank you again to our audience. We will see you later this week. Have a great day out there, everyone.